Good morning, everyone. Welcome to WECode 2025. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you all so much for coming today. My name is Sei Yoon.
My name is Kira Mo, and it is our absolute honor to stand here today as co-chairs of this incredible gathering. To every attendee, every speaker, every supporter who has made this moment possible, thank you. Thank you for being here, for believing in this mission, and for choosing to be part of something truly transformative.
This magnificent space is filled with extraordinary energy. Today, we have almost 800 women gathered here today, more than 600 attendees from all corners of the world, and from more than 20 countries all over the world, and 40 incredible speakers, and a stellar virtual audience who's joining us from every corner of the world.
Our presence here is more than a conference. Tech has the power to solve problems, to connect the world, to shape economies, societies. We are here to lift each other up, to ensure that women play an equal role, and ensure that women can lead and shape the future.
Together, our bold ideas, our passion, and our persistence transcend fields, countries, cultures, and any unbreakable barriers. Founded in 2014, Harvard WECode runs the largest student-run Women in Tech conference in the world. Our mission is to cultivate the next generation of technical leaders, foster a network and community, and promote more representation in the technical industry by those who have been traditionally marginalized. 2025 is our first year of our second decade, and a historic moment, as this is the first time we're holding the conference in Harvard Yard and in this beautiful space of Memorial Church.
And what an extraordinary lineup of speakers we have today, all of them visionaries and trailblazers. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for coming all the way to share your wisdom, your voices, your experiences with us this weekend. Could we have our speakers actually stand up for a round of applause? Thank you. We appreciate you so much, and we cannot wait to hear from you.
WECode is run by an incredible team of 32 Harvard undergraduate students who have volunteered their time to organize the conference through endless hours of work and unimaginable dedication and effort. We have our 6 fantastic teams: engagement, finance, logistics, marketing and strategy, programming, and public relations. Like you, our board is composed of those navigating the beginnings of their technical career, ranging a broad spectrum of interests, from economics, design and arts, and to physics and biology research.
We want to give a huge shout out to our amazing team to working tirelessly throughout this year to bring together the events and to plan an incredible conference for all of us. So our board members are currently all over in the Science Center. You've seen them, but could the board members right here please stand up, and could we have a round of applause for our board members who brought WECode to life?
We hope you all can take this weekend to meet new friends, to inspire, to learn, and to motivate each other. We want to encourage each and every one of you to reach out to other attendees, ask questions, follow up with your favorite speakers, and act on any inspiration you draw from this community. We would also love to meet all of you and hear about your experiences and careers in tech wherever you're from. So feel free to come find us and chat with us during meal times and social events. The board is wearing bright pink lanyards and are more than happy to meet all of you.
So thank you all for coming to join us for a spectacular weekend full of amazing speaker talks, mentorships, collaborative sessions, engagement events, and chances to engage with incredible companies, and so much more.
Yes, we have an incredible weekend planned for all of you, whether you're joining us here in person or virtually through Gather. We hope you all are as excited as the WECode board is for this weekend.
Here's to WECode 2025. I could not be more thrilled to kick things off by introducing our incredible opening keynote speaker, an extraordinary woman whose immense impact on education, technology, and empowerment is nothing short of legendary. Please join us in welcoming Esther Wojcicki, leading American educator, innovator, artist, and author and journalist, who has spent decades shaping the future of learning and leadership. Esther founded the Media Arts program in Palo Alto High School, turning a small group of 20 students into one of the largest, most dynamic journalism programs in the country. She was a driving force behind the Google Teacher Academy, an advocate for creativity and collaboration, serving as vice chair of Creative Commons and advising organizations like the US Department of Education. And yes, she is also the mother of 3 extraordinary women: Susan Wojcicki, former CEO of YouTube, Anne Wojcicki, CEO of 23andMe, and Janet Wojcicki, a renowned medical researcher. Proof that her philosophy of trust, respect, and independence doesn't just work in theory, but it transforms lives. For WECode, there's no one better to set the tone and to launch our conference off. So let's give a warm WECode welcome to the godmother of Silicon Valley, Esther Wojcicki.
Thank you so much for that incredible introduction. I'm kind of overwhelmed. I'm just really also overwhelmed with seeing so many of you here in this incredible building, facility, chapel. It's beautiful. Also, thank you for inviting me to be your speaker. I'd like to share with you the inspiring story of my daughter, Susan Wojcicki, a trailblazer in the tech industry, whose journey exemplifies the power of innovation, perseverance, and leadership. Susan's story begins in Silicon Valley, where she was born in 1968. She grew up on the Stanford campus because her dad, who also graduated from Harvard, was a professor of physics at Stanford. I have been a journalist and a journalism teacher, as Kara mentioned, and the founder of the Palo Alto High School Media Arts program. I started there in 1984, and I built that program to today. It's the largest one, actually, not just in the US, but in the world. And what I've tried to do in that program was empower all the students to be the best they can be. And that's why I'm really excited to be here with you, because that's my goal in giving this talk for all of you. The most important story about Susan began here at Harvard, where Susan graduated with honors in 1990. She majored in history and literature. It was the foundation in humanities, which might seem an unlikely start for a tech leader, but it highlights an important lesson. Success in technology isn't limited to those with computer science degrees. It's a very important point for all of you to know. In fact, it gave her perspective on the needs of people in the creative field. And just think of what YouTube is. It's all the creators. She never would have known that if she had not had that background. It's really important. Susan's diverse educational background, which later included a master's in economics and an MBA, equipped her with a unique perspective that would prove invaluable in her future roles at Google and YouTube. Susan's entry into the tech world is nothing short of serendipitous. In 1998, she rented her garage to 2 Stanford graduate students, Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Little did she know that this decision would change the course of her life and the internet and as we know it today. These students were working on a project that would soon become Google, and Susan would become its 16th employee. As Google's first marketing manager in 1999, Susan faced the challenge of promoting a product without a dedicated marketing budget. What they did is hire her, told her to be the marketing manager, and said to her, "We don't have a budget." Can you imagine doing that? And so she's like, and she took the job anyway. This constraint forced her to think creatively and innovatively, skills that would define her career. Her early work laid the foundation for Google's marketing strategies, and it played a crucial role in establishing Google as the leading search engine. But Susan's impact at Google went far beyond marketing. She was the architect behind AdSense. Hopefully you all know what AdSense is. Yes, without AdSense, Google would never have made any money. It was Google's advertising platform that revolutionized how digital publishers monetize their content. This innovation not only became a cornerstone of Google's revenue, but transformed the entire digital advertising landscape. In 2006, Susan made a decision that would once again reshape the internet. She advocated for Google's acquisition of a small startup called YouTube for $1.65 billion. That sounds like a lot, but it's not. You know, back then, it seemed like a lot back then, but it really is not a lot. Since I've forgotten how much it's worth today, but hundreds of billions of dollars. This purchase, which she oversaw, turned out to be one of the most successful acquisitions in tech history. In 2014, Susan's expertise and vision were recognized when she was appointed CEO of YouTube. Under her leadership, YouTube experienced unprecedented growth, nearly doubling its monthly user base to over 2 billion users. She focused on improving content monetization for creators. So lots of people have become very wealthy as YouTube creators, as you probably all know. Throughout her career, Susan has been a vocal advocate for women in tech. So that's all of you. She famously said, "Let me tell you a little secret. Men have no special skills that enable them to run tech companies. There are just way more of them." That was her statement. And, you know, it sounds kind of crazy, but it worked. This statement encapsulates her commitment to breaking down barriers and encouraging more women to pursue careers in technology. Susan's leadership extended beyond business strategies. As the first Google employee to have a child, she was instrumental in shaping the company's parental leave policies. This initiative not only fostered a family-friendly work environment at Google, but also set a precedent for other tech companies to follow. She pioneered paid parental leave of 24 weeks. When she had that first child, they had 2 weeks of paid parental, and it was just for the mother. Now it's for the mother and the father for 24 weeks, and that set an industry standard. And by the way, she had 5 kids. Susan's tenure as YouTube wasn't without challenges. She faced numerous controversies, including issues related to extremist content, privacy concerns, and accusations of political bias. However, her approach to these challenges demonstrated her resilience and commitment to navigating the complexities of leading a major social media platform. Susan's contributions to the tech industry have been widely recognized. She was named as one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people. She topped Adweek's top 50 world's 100 most powerful people. No, executives list and secured a place on Forbes' list of world's 100 most powerful women. Next week, she's being recognized, actually this coming Monday, being recognized posthumously by the American Advertising Federation, and she's being inducted into their Hall of Fame for her groundbreaking work in advertising. But perhaps her most significant legacy is the inspiration she provides to young women in tech. Susan has shown that with determination, innovation, and leadership, it is possible to rise to the top of the tech industry and make a lasting impact. So, for all of you, here are some of her most important messages from her keynotes that you need to think about. First, focus on working smart, hard, do a great job, then go home. So what she did, and it's really important, is she always stopped working at 6:30 at night. She always made time for her children. It was like sacred time. So she didn't just go to work and then, work all the time, just like, I know what's going on, just like, for example, here at this conference, you guys were probably working till 2 o'clock in the morning. And I applaud you for doing that. But if you have children, you need to remember they need you too. And you can't just ignore that. This emphasizes the importance and efficiency of maintaining a work-life balance. Second, Susan encouraged women to become advocates for yourselves and not feel guilty about it. It's really important. Become an advocate for yourself. Don't just sit there quietly and take things that you know are not right. Become your own best advocate. This advice underscores the importance of self-promotion and assertiveness in the workplace. Number 3, she urged students to pursue careers of meaning and impact in fields that are growing. This suggests that women should seek out opportunities in expanding sectors, especially technology. Don't shy away from things that look like they're difficult or little unusual. Number 4, be flexible and be humble. Both of those, flexible and humble, especially for those starting their careers. Susan advised to be open and willing to do anything that's asked. I mean, just look what she did with the PR. She took this PR job and there was absolutely no budgeting for PR. She also ended up being their, I guess you would call it real estate manager. She had to find a new place for Google to be since she didn't want them to be in her garage all the time. I should just tell you this one story about what they did in her garage. She rented the garage to them and she thought that they would stay there from 9 to 5. Well, they did not stay there from 9 to 5. They stayed there pretty much all night. And not only that, she figured that out one day or one night when she woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and she heard splash, 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 splash. It was in her hot tub. They were all sitting in her hot tub. And that's how she realized they were there the whole night. It was crazy. Anyway, that's just one little story. Number 5, challenge yourself. Don't follow the easy route. Challenge yourself to get the hard work done. Important. This advice encourages women to take difficult tasks and push their boundaries. Number 6, when faced with bias, and she was faced with a lot of bias, because remember, this was like more than 20 years ago, Susan suggested being direct and assertive. She gave examples like saying, I already know that. don't tell me something that I already know. Or, I'm the world's expert in that field. Even if you're not, just say it. And number 7, whether it's salary or a promotion or a job, I think it's important for women to ask for what they deserve. This advice emphasizes the importance of self-advocacy. These are her actual words. So, I'm just not making it up. It's actually what she said. But she was always polite about it. You don't have to say these things and be angry. You can just say it politely. And also, you want to speak up when interrupted. This is typical of meetings. There can be a lot of men at the meetings. You might be the only woman. And they might just sort of try to silence you. Susan advises being direct and say something. No, I completely disagree with whatever it is you disagree with. Don't just sit there and politely accept it. Speak up. It's really important. So the idea is to empower young women. This approach helps in ensuring your voice is heard in a professional environment. So as we look to the future of tech, let Susan's journey inspire us. Her story teaches us that opportunities often come in unexpected ways, and it's up to us to recognize and seize them. As she once said, life doesn't always present you with perfect opportunity at the perfect time. It doesn't, and can be a lot of mistakes, and don't get upset about the mistakes that you make, because every single mistake is a learning opportunity. And you need to remember that, and I cannot emphasize it enough. And also you have to remember, Susan majored in history and lit, and then she became a leader in the tech world. So it doesn't matter what you major in. Don't go around and switch your major because you're worried that, you didn't do the right thing. You can use the learning and the background that you got to move ahead no matter what. And you might have to take some extra courses, but it works. So opportunities come when you least expect them or when you're not ready for them. Opportunities, the good ones, they're messy and confusing and hard to recognize. They're risky, they challenge you. When she took that job at Google, she had a full-time job and at another tech company, and she was earning good money. She took that job and she did not earn a big salary at Google the first time, when she first started. So, but she took that, she's like, this company is doing something that's gonna make a big difference and change the world. And she took it. So that's, again, another message for all of you. To all the young women here today, remember, the tech industry needs your unique perspectives, your creativity, and your leadership. Like Susan, you have the power to shape the future of tech. And in doing so, you too can change the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Esther. We are incredibly grateful to have you join us today and share Susan's story with all of us. Could we give another round of applause for the amazing Esther Wojcicki? We are all deeply grateful, moved, and incredibly inspired. Thank you so much for being here with us today and trusting us in this magnificent space. Now, before we move on, we just want to go over a few quick logistical details before heading to our next events. For our main source of communication, please make sure to check the WECode family Slack, which you should have received the invite link for in your logistical detail email that was sent yesterday. Questions should be sent in the general channel. And if you need anything at all, feel free to also ask a board member in person. And again, we're all wearing bright pink lanyards, so we are more than happy to help.
To continue, please keep your registered name tags and lanyards on at all times. These will help us know that you're here with WECode. And main events today will be held in this building as well as Science Center. The breakout session will start at 11 a.m. And the schedule can be found online or on QR codes together. Those are the logistical details to get out of the way. Just want to thank, again, the incredible insights, and thank you all for gathering here and listening and being in this space to hear Susan's story from the amazing Esther Wojcicki. Yes.
Yeah. So currently it's around 10:15 a.m. So our first round of breakout sessions will be happening at 11 a.m. and they're happening either here or in the Science Center, which is the building where we all registered. So because we have a bit of buffer time, please take this time to explore the buildings a little bit, to familiarize yourself with the space for the next 2 days. Also feel free to get more food from the breakfast line. We still have a few snacks that you guys can munch on until we get lunch in a little bit. So yeah, without any further ado, let's launch WECode 2025.